Hello, Professor David here again, making another video for you today. Guys, I want to talk to you about what's going on in society today that's hurting all of us. The young, the teenagers, the young men who are about to become older men, it's hurting us.
To another level. Let's hit it. To another level.
I'm talking about the society that's trying to get us to believe that there's no winners and there's no losers. That we're all equal. Okay? Everybody has a sense of entitlement. Okay? I'm entitled to this. I'm entitled to that. I don't have to work hard. You should just give it to me because we're all equal. Everything is equal. You say, James, what the hell are you talking about? I'm talking about this. You see this? You see this? Identical. Okay? In the real world, this is not a reality. They tell our youth, they tell our kids today in sports, there's no winners and there's no losers. The first place get this and the 17th place get this. You see, they both get the same thing. See? And they tell kids, oh, it's fear. Don't give them low self-esteem by having them lose. It'll ruin them. It'll hurt their self-esteem and their ego. Okay? Oh, they're going to go on Prozac. Okay? They're going to be depressed because they lost. To hell with that. In the real world, this ain't it. It ain't even. It ain't like this. Let me show you what the real world is. This is the real world. If you win and you're first, you get this. If you lose, you get this. Okay? If you do the right thing, you're successful, you work hard, you got choice. You got the nicer home, the nicer cars, the nicer girls to pick from for you to get married to. If you're this, you take what you get. You live where you can live. You drive where you can drive. You eat what you can eat. The girls you get to choose from are the ones that's left over from this. Okay? That's the way it is in the real world. In the real world, it's not even. There are winners and there are losers. You need to decide what you want to be. You should sit your son and your daughter down and ask them a question. Here, get 2 trophies. Show them this video. Do you want to be this, a winner, a champion, first place, or do you want to be this? And some of you get lower than this. You get nothing. Stugats, nothing. Okay? You got to make a decision. You got to teach your family. You got to teach your kid. And some of you got to lead by example. It's not what I say, it's what I do. I told you before, you cannot pull a piece of string from behind. You have to push it. You have to lead from in front. Teach your kids. This is what you're after, not this. Society will tell you, oh, there's no difference. Yeah, there's a difference. Okay? You have to learn how to fail. See, here's the thing. You don't get this unless you fail. There's no success without failure. You got to fail your way to success. You got to go from failure to failure with enthusiasm. You have to learn how to bounce back. You got to understand something. This is real life. This is there for you. This is there for all of us. But no one's going to give it to you. You got to work hard for it. Real hard. And sometimes you work really, really, really hard. And you never get this. Ask Dan Marino. Ask Dan Marino. Dan Marino was the best football player that year when he went to the Super Bowl. But only one thing happened. Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl against a guy by the name of Joe Montana, who's a real winner. See? And his whole team, the 49ers that year, they were incredible. Dan Marino had an incredible record. Went to the Super Bowl. He got to the big game. He was chasing this. He was inches away from this. Inches away from this. Never got a second chance. They lost, and he never went back to the Super Bowl again. And Dan Marino's in the Hall of Fame. So you see, life ain't fair. Dan Marino didn't get this because Joe Montana got this. No, it's not the way it works. Okay? That's not the way it works. For you basketball fans, how many times Patrick Ewing, okay, played in big games, was inches away from getting this? Whole career for you Knicks fans. Never made it because life ain't fair. Some people win and some people lose. And that's the way it is in the real world. Okay? You have to ask yourself a question. What type of young lady or what type of young man am I raising? Am I raising the kind of young man that's soft? That I'm going to make believe and tell him, oh, life is good. Don't do anything to hurt their feelings. Don't do anything to get them upset. Don't do anything to let them feel discomfort. Okay, you could do that. Your choice. You're the parent. Go right ahead. Nobody can tell you what to do. It's your child, raise them the way you want. But I'm telling you, you better hope you have a whole lot of resources because you're going to be taking care of that kid when he's a grown man. Because you know why? Because when he hits that real world, this is what he's going to come up against. This. Failure. Again and again and again. And there's no way to get around it. No way to get around it. If you're chasing this, you got to fail your way to this. You're chasing this, you got to have a strong spirit, strong character. You got to get knocked down and know how to get up. You got to get knocked down so you know how to get up. Les Brown have a saying, you can fall for anything. That's what he said. He said, when you get knocked down, understand, inside of you, I'm looking up. They can't keep you down. A guy can have his foot on your back, and while they're stomping you, while life have their foot on your back, inside of you, you're a champion. Inside of you, I'm still standing up tall. You might have me down, but it ain't over until it's over. Until I say it's over. Because I'm a winner. You see? And you need to understand that. It's all about what's inside of you. What's inside of you. So when you get squeezed and life, the messenger of misery visits you and knocks you down, do you have the spirit, the determination, the energy, the heart, like Braveheart, the heart? Are you a gladiator? Are you going to get back up and win? Or are you going to just look at this and say, it's not for me, and do what this world tells you to do, make excuses. Oh, it's somebody else's fault. They're holding you back. They're holding you down. You know, they're not letting you get there. All of that is a bunch of crap. Because right now we have successful people. We got millionaires and billionaires of every race, every color, every age group, every ethnicity. Men, women, black, white, Hispanic, everybody. Everybody. So if they can do it, why can't you? What's the difference between them and you? Don't buy into the crap. Give me that other trophy. Don't buy into the crap that we all get one of these. Because they're lying to you. Don't buy into it. Okay? That life is fair. else's fault why you ain't succeeding. It's your fault. Make a decision. Make a choice. Say in your heart, I'm going to make it. And no one and nothing is going to stop me. As long as you got a good person behind you. And if those of you who got nobody, whatever you believe in, the Creator, God, Allah, whoever, whatever you believe in, that's good enough. You and your faith is good enough to take you to get one of these. But understand something. Don't go out there chasing this. Because all of this is a lie. Okay? It's a lie. There is no equality. There is no equality and there is no fair. Life ain't fair. Okay? That's just the way it is. So all this woke nonsense about, you don't deserve a damn thing you don't work for. Okay? You deserve nothing you don't work for. When I was brought up, my father told me one thing. You don't work, you don't eat. Don't depend on nobody but yourself. Gamble and bet on yourself. What are you prepared to do? What are you willing to do to get what you want? Don't envy anybody you see with something. Don't envy a man for what he got. You don't know how hard he worked to get what he has. What sacrifices he made to get what he had. Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to give up Netflix? Are you willing to give up playing video games? Okay? Are you willing to give up watching every movie that comes out? Are you willing to give up hanging out, going to the club? There's a price to pay for success. What are you willing to do? So don't envy somebody you see who got a nice car, got a nice home, got a nice family. You can have it if you want to. Just work hard. But don't go out there chasing that fake dream about it's all equal. It's a lie. If I offended some people with this video, that's not my problem. That's your problem. Because all I'm doing is speaking the truth. I've been around a long time. Okay, I've been up, I've been down, all kind of crap happened to me. And let me tell you something. I had a lady once in my life tell me, one of the mothers of my student, when I was going through one of the worst times in my life. The worst times in my life. Okay? I'm sitting down and I'm wondering how the hell I got into a project that was, man, $1 million project. And I said, what the hell did you get yourself into? And I ran out of money building this place, my school in the city. I ran out of money 20 times. My bed was 110 pieces of sheetrock. I was sleeping on that every night. And let me tell you something. I was at my last. And I'm laying on that sheetrock looking at the ceiling going, what the hell are you getting yourself into? You just signed $1 million lease. And guess what? The doorbell rang. And I went down, opened up the gate. It was a student's parent. One of my black belt #1, Dr. John. It was his mother, Miss Dubin. She's deceased now. She walked over to me, came to me. I said, what are you doing here, Miss Dubin? She goes, 7 o'clock in the morning. Showed her the place. It's overwhelming. 18,000 square feet. Showed her the place. 6,000 square feet each floor. She looked around. She's like, oh my goodness, this is a massive undertaking. My son told me what you were doing. And I'm sitting there, and 10 seconds before she rang that bell, I'm thinking, I'm done. What the hell happened to you? What are you doing? You're through. There's no way you can pull this off. I started to doubt myself. And Miss Dubin, at the end of this tour, looked me in my face and said to me, you cannot fail. It's important. You must not fail. I'm with you. Jonathan's with you. We're behind you. You have to make this work. You cannot fail. When she said that to me, it was like, man, I'm not going to lie. My heart opened up, man. My eyes got watery. My body got set on fire. We opened up that school and we stayed there for 15 years. 18,000 square feet in Manhattan. Okay? We succeeded. And all it took was those words from that woman. I will never, ever forget her, and I always will appreciate what she did for me. All she said was, you cannot fail. So don't let nobody tell you about fear. It comes from the heart. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to win? How bad do you want to succeed? When Ms. Dubin told me that, game over. It was on. I could not fail and I would not fail. I would not embarrass my father, my mother. I would not let Ms. Dubin down. I would not let Professor V down. Hell with that. I would die trying. All it took was those words. So I hope you got somebody telling you the same thing. Go after this. Go after number one. Forget about that other crap. There's a bunch of BS. Thank you.
To another level. Let's hit it.